We're here at the 26th Annual La Jolla Conference and welcoming back Alvaro Rios. Welcome back to La Jolla, Alvaro.
Thank you, Jeremy, after 3 years.
Good to see
I
you
need
again.
to come more often, okay.
You do, but every 3 years is good too, because then we have a lot to catch up on, No, but in all seriousness, I think there has been a lot of changes, and what I want to talk to you about today is particularly in terms of natural gas. I think in terms of natural gas, we've seen an evolution. We use the term evolving dynamics of the gas and power market today on the panel that you sat on. So what I want to talk to you about is what in your estimation exactly has happened in the last, well, since you were here 3 years ago?
Well, if we just go back a little bit, like 5-7 years ago, and we looked at the natural gas market, we just saw a state-to-state or national oil company to national oil company relationship, or from a perspective of electricity, the same thing. I mean, the governments were trying to sell electricity to the other governments.
Yeah.
This has changed, and it's been changing for the past 2 or 3 years. And you can see that evolving. It's coming because of pragmatism and a necessity.
Yeah.
Okay? The state cannot do everything. And that's true in Brazil, it's true in Argentina, and it's becoming true in my country, Bolivia. Yeah. The state cannot do everything. I mean, these national oil companies cannot do everything. Right. So you need to bring in private investment, and you need to have more than one player besides an NOC in oil or an electric company. So what you're doing is, say, when these new companies come, say they have to open the rules for the market. So that's what's happening. There's privatizations in Brazil. There is privatizations in Argentina, if you think so. And now, for example, my government is trying to go and sell electricity to the Minister of Brazil. And the Minister of Brazil, hey, I don't buy, the system buys electricity. So this is really changing.
It's a big change.
It is a big change because, and it's coming naturally. It's not like the Washington Consensus where you say, okay, you need to go private and you need to do change, something that came from outside. This is coming from internally, from basic needs, that we need some competition and we need private sector participation.
So it's like we talked at the Paris Agreement, the bottom up. So from the bottom there's a change in this. And I think it's important what you talked about, whereas in the past you would have a delegation of the energy minister, the national oil company, and they would go and they'd meet with the other countries, national oil company and energy minister, and sign a long-term contract for such and such. So I think the long-term contract element has also completely changed.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can have long-term contracts, but you can also have very dynamic short contracts, and you can have a lot of swaps. You're starting to see that. For example, let me give you an example. We're working right now on Bolivia natural gas contract's going to end 2019.
The pipeline with Brazil.
Yeah. And there's Brazilian company, Argentinian companies that say, that contract's going to expire. We need that gas that's cheaper than LNG, and we want to go and negotiate that with Bolivia. And Bolivia has private companies and has the state NOC. And so this is changing the dynamics that they're not going to try to buy, and it's not Petrobras or the Minister of Brazil coming trying to buy the gas. So there's a new dynamic. It's quite interesting, and I think it's going to make more gas more competitive. And the other thing you have to realize is that 15 years ago, 10 years ago, gas was replacing fuel oil, mainly for power sector. Right. Now you have displaced fuel oil, and now you have to go compete gas to gas. And Bolivia has to compete with Brazilian production, onshore and offshore, with LNG, and maybe Vaca Muerta. In 5 years, they can maybe ship him. There's empty pipelines going to Brazil. So it's a new dynamic, and I think it's going to be good because it's going to lower the price of gas, and competition is really good.
So I want to talk about LNG a little bit, but first, the Brazil pipeline, the Bolivia to Brazil pipeline, 2019, is that when that the contract
2 years,
ends?
Yeah, July, in 2 years exactly.
So is it extended? Is there a new contract?
No, there's nothing going on.
That's it.
Nothing.
2019.
Nothing. I mean,
that was a monumental change.
That was the most important integration project in Latin America.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we'll see the end of that.
And you don't see Petrobras coming to Bolivia and trying to extend the contract.
Which brings us to LNG, because obviously LNG, I mean, okay, the pre-salt is also generating an enormous amount of
but it's going to take more time. LNG is right there.
Right. So we heard a lot on the panel today about some of the reasons why we shouldn't be worried about oversupply of LNG in the global marketplace and how the market can absorb it. It's already absorbing it. Is that, what do you think?
I think, I mean, a lot of LNG is coming from the United States and it's coming from Australia, but it's like any cycle. It'll just get used, and new people are going to start thinking about new plants in 5-6 years. So there's new LNG, and I think Brazil, when it doesn't rain, is going to need a lot of LNG. So LNG is going to become, in Latin America in particular, a supply of, for not, when there's not a lot of rain, in Brazil in particular, in Colombia, and in Argentina for the peak winter time. So LNG is very well complementary of the peaking season. It's like kind of storage you have in the United States.
Which speaks absolutely opposite of any kind of long-term contractual mechanism.
That's right. I think it's going to be more spot and short term, and when it's needed, you're going to pay more price, but you're going to have, there's no way you can supply that 50 million cubic meter per day to Argentina with a pipeline.
You're paying a premium for the storage and the flexibility.
The flexibility. You're going to have to pay for it, and I think LNG is going to become more and more flexible, and South America in particular needs flexible LNG.
We're going to leave it there. Alvaro Rios, thanks for coming
back.
Thank you,
Termino.
Good to see you again.
We'll see you then.